And we're live.
We're live.
Hey, look, it's our podcast episode 10 after
12.
a very long
12.
12. Oh,
That's
fuck
12.
me.
Yes, 12.
Rip me. After that's been like a long hiatus for me.
Yeah,
Strong.
as I put in the description, I was like, "Hey guys, welcome back again."
And again.
Yeah, again. It's been a while, that's for sure, but
Yeah.
we are back. Sorry for the long hiatus. Hopefully, we'll do this periodically. Maybe not
Just
weekly.
schedules are really hard with people over the internet, it turns out. I mean, I know certainly for me, it's like, oh, like over the summer I was working as a house painter. And no, it's not like one of those stupid ass pyramid schemes where you make no money. It was an actual job. But like I had to get up at like 6:30 every morning, and I was just like, yeah, I can't. My schedule doesn't line up. It was definitely hard.
Yeah. Mine is just I fucking work all the time. I mean, I know you kind of just said that, but like,
It's true.
Oh.
You just work and sleep and eat. That's basically what it is.
yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, I would love to make more time for this. I guess we just and also leading up to RTX, things got really crazy. I think we'll talk about that at some point. But
I don't have a job.
Oh, fuck off. Okay.
I don't have that.
There you go.
I don't have that worries.
There you go. There's that. Anyway, so yeah, this is another podcast. We've been gone for a while. Now we're back. We are going to talk primarily about RTX because pretty much the entire group just went to RTX.
Had a great time.
Had a great time. We didn't film. We didn't film any. Well, we filmed some hangouts, but not as we talked about before. And again, we'll get into that later. There is some stuff.
Reasons why.
Yeah, some things went awry. You could say that.
Very, very, very fucking awry. But again, we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, we're going to talk about RTX, talking about some travel stories since most people flew. Some of us drove.
Oh, I drove. Yay!
Yay, direct team, yes. And then we'll just talk about some odds and ends, kind of like we normally do. There's some shit that happened while RTX was going on. One in particular is Fantastic Four fucking bomb.
That final turd.
Fucking bomb. Like, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, this doesn't seem like a good idea. Apparently I was right, because it only made $11 million since opening weekend. Which is not good, especially with the budget of that movie. I'm going to imagine, I mean, somebody can check Box Office Mojo, but I'm almost positive the budget for that movie would be around $100 million? Just for a superhero movie, that seems about right.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. There it is. Yeah, Fantastic Four 2015. It's grossed worldwide $72 million. But here's the thing: the Box Office Mojo doesn't have any production budget on there, and you can sure as hell know this. Fox made this, so yeah, screw you, Fox.
Well, I mean, Fox can't always be to blame just because the past two X-Men movies were really, really good, like X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men. There's Bella.
Hey, it's Bella.
It's Bella.
A fourth player arises.
Yes.
Shows up 15 minutes late with Starbucks. If they don't have Starbucks.
Yeah.
Tweet me a coffee.
yeah. Tweet a coffee, everybody. That'll help us out a lot. But fucking
Talking about Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we're talking about Fantastic Four. The past two X-Men movies were really good, and Deadpool I think is going to be amazing. So I think their safest bet is just to give the licenses back to Marvel and have them do it.
Yeah.
Marvel hasn't really proved wrong yet. But yeah.
Speaking of the whole Marvel thing, I know I watched Daredevil like all the way through, kind of binge watched it. It was fucking fantastic. Did any of you guys see that?
I am on episode 9 right now.
Okay, well,
Finish it. That
no
show's
spoilers.
great.
No spoilers, but what do you feel about Marvel doing more episodic stuff? Because I personally really like it. I think that they should produce a lot more things in episodic content because you get more character development of not the hero. Like in this one,
Yeah.
you learn who the villain is, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
episode 8. Sorry to cut you. I'm sorry to cut you off. Episode 8. I really loved. It's not a spoiler or anything, but I really loved how they fleshed out that much of the backstory for Kingpin. I thought that was awesome, and it makes you kind of sympathize with that character a lot, like a lot.
Yeah. I feel like it's not for every character. Like personally, I would love a Black Widow movie, but I wouldn't like a Black Widow TV show that much.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it's with fucking I've forgotten the name.
Daredevil?
Daredevil, yeah. 2 seconds ago it was said and I've already forgotten. With Daredevil, I really liked it because there were so many characters involved with it, and you got to hear so much from each of them, and you got to care for all of them, even the bad guys. Like you sympathized with them and you understood their motives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's apparently the problem with Marvel nowadays, because I haven't noticed it just because I'm not that critical about it, but a lot of people have pointed out how the Marvel villains, in the movies especially, are starting to, like, not be very... Yeah, they're starting to be kind of like the same, and it's nice to have that polar opposite when you have an episodic adventure where you can actually flush out the character of the villain.
Well, one of the things that I started to notice when they did when Marvel started doing stuff in 2008 with like Iron Man, I started noticing that every single Marvel movie had the same kind of plot. It was like, hey, look, superhero is super and then gets beaten down by the villain. Superhero has to like relearn how to be a good superhero and then goes off and beats the villain. Like that's what it felt like.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited for Deadpool, because he's not like a superhero. He's sort of his own thing. And that's also why I kind of want a Black Widow movie, because she starts out as a villain and she sort of has to do her own personal moral transformation. And I'd rather get into that because fucking everyone loves Black Widow.
Yeah.
And her arc is so different from all other superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
What
about you, Adrian?
I was getting to that. I was waiting.
Fucking put your mic on.
Wow.
We're doing a
That was
podcast.
just the quietest mumble.
He's just here to listen. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
He's here to have a good time.
Wow. Okay. He can be moral support. I was wondering why you weren't talking.
Yeah. While he's getting his fucking mic set up, God damn it, Adrian, what was I gonna say? Oh, shit. Fucking hell.
It's working now.
Hey.
No, but I think Marvel is doing. I think at this point they're doing Daredevil, which is a good idea of expanding more and talking more about superheroes. The movies have done too much, and people get it that superheroes are going to win eventually. We just don't like the same thing over and over and over. So I think Daredevil, they should do that with more superheroes at some point.
I'm so excited to see the fucking Punisher in season 2. I think that'll be awesome.
Oh, right. The other something about talking about villains and villain development. While I was in Austin and seeing all you lovely faces in real life, I went out with a bunch of. I think you went with us too, Adrian. I think you can vouch for this. We went and saw the new Mission Impossible movie, which actually was surprisingly not a bad Mission Impossible movie. It wasn't like the quintessential, Tom Cruise runs around and Tom Cruise does this. But it actually, I enjoyed it. It was more than just a fun action movie. But the thing that I really didn't like was when you got to the bottom of it, the villain, there just wasn't a villain.
No, that's one of the. I would love to see it again because I pretty much can vouch for everybody that all of us were fighting sleep the entire movie because we were all tired from the fucking convention. So I would love to see it again to give it another chance. It was a good movie. I hated the very end of it just because it just was like
so campy.
It really was.
It was a bit too long. I think they could have cut it off I think they could have taken that whole chunk off and just skipped it. Because it was just tiring. I mean, maybe it's because we were obviously from RTX and we were just tired. It was just like, end already. But this movies just do that too many times now. It just extend it to the point where most of us don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I liked it still. It was
Yeah.
movie.
For people who don't know, fucking Tom Cruise is crazy ass actually hung on to that held on to the side of that plane.
Yeah, I think I saw that in a trailer for another movie where it was like, oh look, the stunts looked so real because they were real. And then there's him just sort of like chilling out on the side of a plane, and I'm just, what the hell, Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the fun things that you can play in any Mission Impossible movie, since Tom Cruise is something like 5'8" or 5'7", you can always play. He's 5'7". Just verifying that. You can always play. How did they make this shot so that it looks like Tom Cruise is tall and scary and menacing when he's really just short?
That's what makes me
Basically
laugh
the same
about.
thing with Robert Downey Jr. because like Iron Man is supposed to and Tony Stark, they're supposed to be like these big, intimidating billionaires, but then Robert Downey Jr. is like 5'6".
Yeah.
That's short.
That's what makes me laugh about Tom Hardy so much is because Bane is supposed to be this giant, menacing character, and fucking Tom Hardy's like 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you go back and watch it again, you could probably notice how camera angles they're trying to make him bigger than he. I mean, the motherfucker's like big and bulky as shit, but he's 5'6" or
5'9".
5'9". Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's funny whenever they cut to a wide shot, it's always the short person, like they're running, and it's like you can just tell that they're short, no matter how many camera angles they do. It's so funny.
Has anybody else noticed how Tom Cruise runs funny? Like every single movie I've seen him run in, I'm just like, oh Tom, you fucking running little guy.
But that's his thing. He just runs.
Yeah.
I've never focused on that before, but I think if I watch Mission Impossible again, I would probably just be looking at that the entire time.
Yeah, I just want to
To
find
see how he
like
runs.
a GIF of Tom Cruise running.
Oh, there are thousands that exist. I guarantee you.
Tom Cruise running.
So anyway, speaking of that, we saw that at RTX. Why not talk about
RTX.
RTX.
The whole plan of this
Hey,
podcast.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
Simple lame segue.
Should we
Oh,
start?
there's a montage of him running. Wow, the internet is beautiful.
Should we start with the bad news or what?
No, we can segue into that.
Okay.
I feel like we should start with that because that's how our RTX started.
Yeah.
I guess so.
So
Well, your RTX started a day before RTX, right? Basically.
Me?
Well, I mean with the whole situation.
So basically, to get down to brass tacks, I'm not going to go into details about it, even though some people think I should. I'm not going to. Basically,
Just the gist of it.
we
aren't going to name drop here.
No.
A certain person.
It's about a group of. It was about the whole
34.
loft. Yeah, the whole loft thing. It was about a group of 34 of us. And
Yeah.
so for the past 6 months, the 34 of us were under the assumption that we had these awesome lofts on 6th Street, not 6th Street, close to the convention center to stay at. We're like, oh, okay, it's going to be awesome. We're going to party all the time.
And it was like a centralized place to hang out, even for people like me who
Yeah.
were staying in a hotel.
Yeah. So it's like if we didn't want to go to the con, or I mean, if we wanted to just chill and party at the loft, we all had a place to party and hang out.
Also, we had a place to sleep and store our stuff and
Yes,
live.
yeah, that too. That's also the important stuff too. So a day before we all are supposed to leave for Austin. Also, that same day, some people were already flying. We get the news that hey, that place that we thought we were going to stay at actually was never booked in the first place. So we don't have a.
Yeah, the person who was in charge of booking the loft, the person who had organized everything, that person had told us all that they had booked the loft. They had told us all that they were in contact with the owners, but it turns out they had just taken all of our money and not done anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So that was how our RTX started. So
yeah.
all of us.
Fun!
All of us,
Yay.
yes, so much fun. It's such a good time.
So basically, 34 people were panicking and scrambling, trying to find a place to stay a day before the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like super upset because this person was our friend and we thought we could trust them, but
Mhm.
it's wrong.
Well, we got our
keep in
shit
mind-
together.
Keep in mind, like, the other situation with this is, like, we're all young people, so we're broke as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
And
Yep.
to give you kind of an idea, I'm going to veer off for a second. I had an issue. I signed a lease at this place that I was under the assumption I was going to stay at, but we weren't supposed to move in for another 5 months. My buddy comes back and we can't afford it. Okay, I have to go cancel the lease. Oh, well, since you signed the lease, now that you broke it, even though you haven't given us any money and you're not supposed to move in yet, you have to pay us $585 because that's the fee. That $250 that I gave to this person, I could very much use right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. I bet.
But so basic and that's pretty much the end of that story. Getting back to the start of the RTX, I'm at work when I find this information out. I have an hour before I'm supposed to close the restaurant, and I have to sit on my phone and find a fucking hotel, very very last minute.
So it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean, it ended up not being too bad. Ours, we split with 5 people, and it was only $154 a person for the whole weekend, so it wasn't awful. But again, it was also a 10-minute trip, which wasn't really that bad as well. It was also a 10-minute trip to and from the place. So, like, if there was a panel that I wanted to go to that morning, I couldn't just walk down the street and go attend it. I had to give myself time. So,
I could. I was a block away.
fuck off.
Yeah.
So basically what ended up happening is this group of 34 that we had cultivated over the past 6 months had to then split up into different places just because we were having to scrounge to find a place to stay and live for the weekend.
Mhm.
And
But we did find a hotel for 32 people in 2 hours, which was amazing.
yeah, which was
There
awesome.
were a bunch of people in the group that were really, really awesome, and some people put up money for other people to stay.
Yeah.
And
Should we give credit to the guy who?
I'm gonna name drop this. I wanted to hug. I still didn't give him a hug. I wanted to hug the fuck out of Ryan because
I did.
in the
The
midst
second I
of
saw him, I was like, "Hello,
this
you're
is
the best."
this is not Ryan from this is
not
not Ryan.
Ryan
Ryan
Haywood.
Quinlan.
Ryan-
Like no,
yeah,
just a person named Ryan.
Yeah, he when in the midst of the situation, some people were still trying to book a loft, so we would have a big place for a number of people to stay.
Because
And
one of the lofts that we were originally going to stay in was still available, but the other one had been taken. So we were trying to get the one loft that we could still get.
yes, so Mr. Andy and Mr. Ryan, not Haywood, our Ryan, said that hey, I have $2,000 apiece. We can put that money in if somebody will give us the extra, and we can give somebody a place to stay. We're not going to actually stay at this place, but we're just going to give you the money. I'm just like, fucking good guy, fucking Ryan and Andy. It's just, it was such amazing what happened and how people were reacting. Like
It's
there
the
was some,
power of the community.
it's
I
that's,
also,
go ahead.
I would say I was gonna also name drop one more person because he dedicated about 4 hours in the whole entire day trying to figure shit out, and that's John.
Yeah, John.
He made sure everyone was good and stuff. I know he was on his computer the whole time.
John
finding
did not
hotels.
sleep. John did
Yeah.
not sleep from the time
Okay.
from the day before. He didn't sleep on Wednesday to Thursday. Thursday is when everybody got into Austin, and he was up the entire time making sure somebody had a place to stay. So we all have to give a huge thank you to Ryan, Andy, and John for a fact.
Mhm.
Because of
And-
that.
I have some name drops to do too. I mean, this didn't affect the whole group of people. This just affected me. But like, Ariana and Emma, they let me stay with them during RTX, and they didn't make me pay. And like, that's pretty much the best thing they could have done for me because I couldn't afford $50 for a checked bag. And so when I found out that like I didn't have a place to stay, I was actually planning on just living in the streets. So thank you to Emma and Ariana for keeping me off the Austin streets for the weekend.
So there you have it, the power of the RT community, but also the not power. At least you guys this is terrible but at least you guys found out that you didn't have a place to stay the day before you left, the day before the con started, not when you got there.
Yeah.
I have an experience. One time my family was traveling to New York to go to a wedding. My mom had done kind of a similar thing. And then we show up at the place where we're supposed to stay, and the people at the front desk are like, "You've been scammed," and we literally showed up, did not have a place to stay, and then had to walk like 10.5 blocks to a hotel. And my dad was so mad. He was just like, "I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe we fucking got scammed in fucking New York City, and he was so salty about it. We walked 10 blocks with like all of our luggage and shit, probably like lunatics, because we had gotten fucking scammed. And we got into a hotel that was expensive as shit, and it's just like a terrible experience. But, scamming stories, yay.
Speaking of, I think Ryan would like to join at some point when he gets back from the movies.
Cool.
Yeah, Ryan.
No, hey, the weekend ended up perfect, right, guys?
Yeah, I mean,
It was
After all,
weekend.
it was a great time for me, at least.
Hey, we all had a great weekend. I think I had a blast.
I had
was
fun.
seeing all your faces.
yeah.
in RTX.
Except for Adrian's, of course. That was all right, but.
I
Except
think
for what? Except for what?
I said except for Adrian's, it was all right.
the way I feel, and I was talking to my grandparents. I wanted to know what it was. And I know, like, here's a fucking challenge for all you out there, and you guys. Try
Hang on, anyone else hearing?
Yeah.
Robot.
Eric, you're gonna have to repeat that. Your internet's pooping on you right now.
Oh, okay. If you want a challenge, try explaining RTX and Rooster Teeth to your grandparents and have it make sense.
Oh,
No,
it's okay.
Just to anyone else. Just explaining RTX to anyone else is just like, what?
I had to explain it to the flight attendant on my plane back from Austin because they were like, "Oh, what's RTX? I've seen a lot of," and I was just like, "I'm just trying to get on the plane. I just want to sit down. Let me go."
So
I called it a nerd fest. That's what
Whenever
Accurate.
Chelsea would try to explain to her parents and her friends what it was, she was like, "That's some kind of nerd convention." I'm like, "I will go with that because I have no other explanation for it."
It's some nerd bullshit. That's what it is.
So anyway, what I was gonna say was like never before have I felt so appreciated to be a fan of something. Like every person I talked to that was part of the company always
Robot. You still sound like a robot.
It sounds like what you're saying is really important and emotional, but it also sounds like a robot.
give me a second.
I'm trying to give you my emotion, but my intelligence won't let me.
Okay. Is it better now? Can you hear me?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Fucking rip my internet. God damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say every single time I talk to an employee with not the the repeats one.
God damn it. It's still pooping.
God damn it.
I guess Eric just can't talk.
It's taking a hot, steamy pile of shit just right on you right now.
Let's see. Let me.
Alright, well, he's figuring that out. What was someone's favorite thing in RTX, like, overall that weekend?
Well, I personally would have liked to have gone to more panels, but because of my signings, because of my signings and some other stuff, I wasn't able to. And then for the day that I was able to, okay, I'm gonna rant a little bit. I hope Tyler had a good idea, and I kind of hope that this would work and they would institute this. I'm not bashing Rooster Teeth or RTX or anything like that, but it's like what makes more sense to me is something he said was what they could try to do is they could try to do what they did for the autograph signings and have them be like ticketed. Yeah. So you have you buy your RTX ticket and each ticket comes with 4 or 5 codes.
Yeah,
like
that would be perfect.
Pick which panel you want because the only one all weekend that I really, really wanted to go to was the podcast panel. The panel, they're not supposed, for people who haven't gone to RTX, the lines are supposed to start 2 hours before the panel.
Yeah.
What? Hear me now?
Not really.
Still shitty.
Still shitty.
Alright, I'm gonna move.
They were supposed to start 2 hours, and people started getting there at 6:30, and I got there with a group of people at 7.
Yeah, see, I woke up at 7.
Yeah,
There were literally lines for the lines.
Yeah.
They sent me. Mark sent me a picture of the fucking line at 7:30. I wouldn't have got there until about 8:30. And he's like, I don't think you're gonna get in. And it was just the entire hallway leading up to the booth, or not the booth, the hall was just storm packed. I mean, it was. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I mean, I knew for a fact that if we didn't get there early enough, we would not have seen the RT podcast. But when we got there, it was 7 o'clock. There was already like a lot of people in front of us. But the point where we were is like, oh, we're gonna get in for sure. And when we got in, we got like the second or the third row of like behind the VIPs, which was pretty sick. I mean,
Can you hear me now, please?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good
Okay,
now.
yay. Sorry.
Do you have a
sorry
Capri
about that.
Sun?
Huh?
Who?
Do you have a Capri Sun, Eric?
Oh no, this is styrofoam for my microphone. I'm moving.
How the
Fuck, did you think that was a Capri Sun?
I
Okay.
thought I saw something silver and with a straw.
No, I can.
And I also just really want a Capri Sun.
I can totally relate to the whole 2 hours before thing, because
Yeah.
I really want to go to the patch panel because
Oh wait.
I
No.
wanted to go to that. But the thing about it was like there was a surprise mystery line and it filled up instantly. It was like, the line for the line, and so I was kind of bummed out because I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to this, and then it was just instantly full, and I was like, well, fuck, I don't get to do anything. The other thing I experienced this was for the no panel, the same thing happened. There was a line there before, and luckily I kind of did it. Okay, this was pre-line, so I'm not.
Was this at the
I'm not.
JW?
No,
this
this
at
was
the
at the convention center.
Oh.
So I'm not an asshole because this is a pre-line, and I don't give a fuck about people who pre-lined up. But I saw some people I had met there, and I was like, oh hey, you're like really far up in the pre-line, so I'm just gonna hang out with you until we start going over there.
Apparently
And so-
they were real strict about that too, because I asked John, I was like, hey, can I just line up with you guys whenever I get there? And they're like, no. I was like, they're not doing any sort of plus ones.
At a certain, if you got there early enough, you could, but after a certain point, then no. Like if there was like an hour and a half before, you couldn't pre-line. I mean, if you were there comfortably to a little bit more than 2 hours, yeah, you would have been able to. But before that, no.
But that being said, I feel like having heard stories from RTX's past where people waited forever for things, it felt like this year ran a lot more smoothly, especially with the signings. And I actually really like the idea
Of the ticketed?
of the ticketed panels of like, you choose what's the most important and then you get to go to that. The only thing that sucks about that is, you have to be on top of it, and and some people might really miss out on stuff they want to do.
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, a month before, what was it, like, they did the tickets, 2 weeks before?
Yeah, it was a week before.
At that point, you gotta be on point with RTX. You gotta be like, alright, I gotta look every day, no matter what. I mean, even if you have work or stuff, just look at your phone on break time, So,
I mean,
but, yeah.
I like
I'm
whenever.
not sure.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if every panel needs to be ticketed, but at least like the super popular ones, like
Yes.
Achievement
If you're
Hunter
gonna-
and podcast, like the ones where there are going to be 4-hour lines if it isn't.
Mhm.
But if you are gonna do tickets for panels, you gotta do it for all of them. Just like they did with signings. Because I remember at one point, there was one signing they didn't have a lot of people, and they're like, "Hey, this signing's open for whoever wants to go." And so I mean that's what they did. So if they're gonna do it for a few, they gotta do it for all of them. But,
Yeah, which kind of
Yeah, but I
it's a
mean,
good
like,
idea.
sucky.
I feel like it's kind of that happened with the Jordan and Pat signing, which is one of the ones I went to, where there weren't a lot of people there, but like no one seemed to notice that it was empty and that they could just sort of go into the line without having a pass. So like maybe if they did that thing where on the app they sent you like an update saying like this one's full, they could, if they did things like send you, oh,
And
this
they
signing
could
or
do
this
that.
panel is really empty. If you still want to go, you can.
Yeah, they could have done that. But if you were in the JW, the Guardians are saying like this signing's open if anyone can go to. But that's only if you were in the JW. I mean, if you were in the convention center, you would never know anything about that. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the cards. The day that they did the Cards Against Humanity, the fucking JW was awful.
it was
Because
I was there. It was horrible. I mean, I got in, but there's a line going outside, and they're like, oh, if you're going to Cards Against Humanity, you must line up outside. So I had a group of people with me. I'm like, all right, follow me, because we're not going to be in this line. We are inside. We're at the bottom where everyone was waiting because like no one was waiting outside. And I was just sneaking around, and then when they say, all right, you can go up, we just snuck right by and just went up.
yeah,
'Cause, I mean, everyone was going to go cheat. I mean, the only real day that everything was perfect was Sunday.
Well, yeah, that was just the end of the con when they figured when they
Yeah.
figured everything out. I want to give a shout out to all the Guardians that worked tirelessly to make sure everything was great. I mean, I could not imagine having to wrangle that many people.
Your internet shooting
The
out.
thing I was gonna say before my internet started shitting on me.
It's still
shitting.
shitting on you.
Fuck.
Doesn't want you to say what you want to say.
Go bitch at somebody for streaming right now.
Also, another
Yeah.
person.
There's no one in my house except me.
God damn, Eric, get some
Go
better internet.
bitch at your neighbors then. They're probably doing something.
I'm just gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna say it for like the third fucking time.
Alright, go for it. Sounds good now.
So, this was the first time I felt appreciated as a fan. Like,
That it? Go
on.
like every single staff member I talked to, albeit it was a very small number, they were all like, "Thank you so much for coming." Like, and the last day when I saw Barbara, she, even when I said I had a really long drive ahead of me, she said in the most sincere voice, "Please drive safely." And I felt so happy because I felt really cared for. And
We saw. Go
And I
ahead.
mean, like, especially, I'm pretty sure, like, she had heard about the people who died in the car crash, so I'm pretty sure, like, I'm sure she meant it, but I'm sure that had influence.
I know
on
it had an influence, but it still is great to be cared about, to feel cared by your people who you look up to.
Yeah.
Especially, like, seeing if you didn't know, Bernie Burns made a $10,000 donation to the kids who died in the car crash, and Ray made a $2,000 donation.
Oh wow, I did not hear that.
Yeah, so 10 from Bernie, 2 from Ray, and like that's just they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to donate anything, and the fact that they donated that much just because they care so much about the people who care about them, it's really fucking cool.
And this was to two people who were the two survivors of a pretty horrendous car accident on the way to RTX. They were coming from Virginia, and they got in a really bad car accident. There were 5 people in the car, and 3 ended up dying, which was really sad.
Yeah.
I believe one of them has been released from the hospital, and one is still in critical condition, but I might be wrong, or that might be old information.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, the weekend was great, but there was also besides our situation, of course, there was a lot of not so great things that happened that weekend. Besides that, that's the biggest one. But there was another one. I think there was actually only 2. That one, and then there was a very unfortunate incident. Because I remember I passed by to get to our hotel coming into Austin. We passed by a La Quinta that was right next to a Waffle House. And I remember looking over because some of the people were staying at a La Quinta, and I didn't know if it was that one or not. I looked over at the Waffle House, and there's 2 ambulances and like 5 cop cars, something like that. I'm like, what's going on? Next day, I look on Facebook, and this one still kind of boggles my mind. Somebody had left a child in that car. Just the car wasn't running. And it was a 10-month-old baby, and the baby didn't make it, and it was super sad. But I'm sitting here going like, did you leave the baby in the car to go eat? What's going on? I mean, it was 100 in Austin all weekend, so it was 130 in that car. It had to be.
And I talked to someone who went to UT, and apparently that weekend was considered a cool weekend.
Jeez, for us that was kind of hot. For most of us who were out of town.
I was just glad, like, it wasn't that hot for me because it wasn't humid. It was warm, but it wasn't humid, so I was fucking happy as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Texas, so I'm kind of used to this heat. But all that concrete, it was kind of a lot. But going back to the cards, I was at the JW as well because I was doing my Funhouse signing. And my girlfriend and her brother, who went along with me on the trip, they were just sitting outside the room waiting on me, and I told them, I said, hey, go ahead, and then they went with you, Adrian. I said, go ahead and wait by the escalator, and then when they call, just go ahead and go up there. And then the Guardian came up to her and was like, hey, you guys are waiting for cards, you guys got to go back downstairs. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And so she managed to get in with you guys, but I was still at my signing, and I kind of didn't want to walk out, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just not going to make it. So I didn't get to do that, but I mean, it was whatever. But yeah, definitely, the entire weekend was pretty fun. I'm trying to think. Of what else happened.
I must say though, hearing from past RTX, those lining sounded like you had to be there forever. So this year, I mean, since it was most of our first RTX, we thought it was kind of bad. But for others, it was probably the best for
Yeah,
lineups and
you're
everything.
like, man, I gotta go to so many panels.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no, hopefully next year they do
like,
tickets, maybe, because it sounds like a good idea.
The,
If
the
you they
ticketed
do a
autograph,
ticket,
ticketed autograph signings.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're gonna do tickets, they better give us at least four at least. I mean,
Yeah.
5 maybe, but yeah, 4, because it would help a lot.
And
or like
not everyone wants to
give
go to
you
panels,
two,
and I feel
yeah.
like there should be a more organized way for people who don't want codes for panels or signings to give them to people who do want them, because like
Yeah.
it was sort of like giving it to your friends, and like I won a code for a signing through a giveaway on Tumblr, which was really cool, but like since there were so many signings where there just weren't people showing up, I'm sure there were people who would have loved to go if they had known about it.
Yeah.
So like if there's a more organized way for people who don't want their signings to give them
Obviously, it was their first year doing it, so it was kind of a beta. So I'm assuming next RTX, with the amount of people that are gonna come, because I'm sure the more than 40,000 people are gonna come to RTX next year.
Well, you have to remember that that's 40,000 people over 3 days.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Over 3 days. So yeah,
Wasn't
I mean,
it 45?
Or sorry, well, but the thing about it is you should really divide that number by 3 because there are the mass amount of weekend passes. They count weekend passes 3 times.
True.
Yeah. Like I bought 3, because I bought one for me, one for my girlfriend, and one for my friend who was at basic training. And I assumed, and he said that he wanted to go, and then because he couldn't find a job when he got out, he's like, I can't afford it. So I was like, fuck. So like literally the day before RTX, I still had a 3rd ticket I could not get rid of, and so we were like, hey, her brother likes Rooster Teeth. I was like, hey, you want to just go? He was like, yeah, sure. So he rode along. So that's how I got rid of that. But speaking of signings, since I took her code. I had 3 codes. I ended up giving one away to somebody. So I took her code and used mine, and then I went to a Funhouse signing, and then I went to the Matt and Bernie signing, which was really, really awesome. I wish I could have talked to Funhouse more than I did, but it was kind of a little more hectic than Matt and Bernie's. Matt and Bernie were really, really fucking awesome to meet, and there was a lot. I could tell there was a lot of people. There was this girl in front of me in particular. She at one point we had to move because we were at time. Like we were at the time that the next signing was supposed to come up, so we had to move to another part of the room so I could set up. And so
that's the best part, though. That's when you can actually talk to them for as long as you want.
Yeah, we kind of did it. At one point, Brady comes and he's like, "Hey, got a little bit of free time. I can go ahead and sign some of your guys' stuff." And he went to talk to this one girl, and he went up. He goes, "Hey," and she's like, "Hey." She was physically shaking. I was just like, "Oh my god, that's adorable." Yeah, I was like, "Wow." I was like, anyway, I went up and got up there, and they were really, really awesome to meet. I got my 3DS signed by them, and I got to talk to Bernie for a bit. And for people who have watched podcasts before, the last one, they were at E3, and John, fucking good guy John, got a lot of RT members to be on this podcast. Yeah, and you. But he was the one that took your phone. He was the one that took your phone. Oh, it was your phone. Okay.
He asked me. Yeah, thanks to me.
Shout out to Adrian's phone, not Adrian. Fuck you, Adrian.
Fuck Adrian, but thanks for Adrian's phone.
But anyway, I reminded, if you guys remember, Bernie told us to go fuck ourselves on the podcast. And so I reminded him about it, and he was like, oh shit, I remember that. It's like, that was fucking awesome. And he was like,
I have something to say right after you.
Okay. And I was like, he said, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, don't be. It was funny as shit. And you know, it was a really good time talking to him and meeting him. Go ahead.
So, on Sunday of the convention, I was walking. I had just come from the No panel, and I was like, man, that was a great panel. I got to ask a question, and the response I got from Meg was the best because I asked a question, and she was like, who gave you our roadmap? And I was like, yes. I know the inner workings of their minds. Not really. But anyway, I was walking around and I was like shooting the shit, like, what do I do? It's the last day of the con. And I saw a whole bunch of people and I was like, oh fuck, there's a whole bunch of people. Oh fuck, that's Bernie. Am I gonna be that guy? I'm gonna be that guy. So I kind of like went over to the group of people, and like the Guardians were like, okay, Bernie has to be here, so we're cutting off the line here. And I was like right at the back of the line. I was like, yes, I gotta be Bernie. I gotta be Bernie because I can't talk. I gotta meet Bernie. And so going up through the line, it was all cool. And so I got up to him. I said, I think I said something similar, like, "Oh yeah, you said fuck you to my face, really?" And he was like, "Oh shit, like you were on that podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, hey, shut up."
Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Eric, whoever that was.
Yeah.
That was my brother.
Shout out to
Anyway.
Eric's brother.
Eric, whose headphones are those?
Mine. God damn it! Fucking get out of here!
Interrupting.
God, Mom, I'm doing a podcast. Leave me alone. I'm talking to my friends.
Yes, like right now.
More like his brother.
I got them at Best Buy, you dummy.
All right.
Alright, anyway, sorry for that brief interruption. So anyway, I was talking to him and I said I was on that podcast that you said fuck you do, and he was like, "Oh crap, that's really cool." He said, "What's the name of it?" So I told him the name of it, and my brother's girlfriend looks really confused as to what I'm doing.
I already know you're making a podcast.
Yeah, okay, good. So anyway, I told him the name of it. God, this is the worst story ever. Too many interruptions. So I told him the name of it, and he said that he would watch us.
That's
He was
cool.
like, send me the link.
doubt
Send me the
I
link
doubt
of it. He said I always need new stuff to watch.
So are we tweeting him the link?
Not right now. I'll tweet him the episode with E3 where he said that. And I said, maybe you can like name drop us
Nope.
on the
Nope.
podcast.
Stop.
Robot.
You're roboting.
Fuck!
Does not compute. Does not compute. Distracted by boyfriend's girlfriend. Does not compute.
Boyfriends, brothers.
But did I say
My
boyfriend's girlfriend?
boyfriend's girlfriend.
Boyfriend, girlfriend. Anyway, no. So I said, name drop on the podcast. And he was like, sure.
Nope. T-Robot.
Yeah.
Just stop yourself there.
It's not happening.
Are you writing it down?
Alright, you maybe.
He's writing it down.
I'll continue later. Fuck me. Alright, that's what he said.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I wish the things I regret the most is not going to as many panels as I would have liked to, and a lot of people in the group met more RT members than I did. I didn't meet very many. But what's so funny about RTX to me is it's kind of surreal, and it's like you meet people at inopportune times. Like, for example, there was on Saturday I did my Bane cosplay with a dude I met on the RT site, Patrick. Excuse me. That was a burp. Excuse me. Anyway, so
You're not excused.
So, I'm just walking around. I'm going to go get something to eat, and there's this dude that was in front of me. And I'm just walking, and he goes, "Hey, Meg," and I high five. I'm like, "Oh shit, Meg just passed me." Well, all right. And then I think on Sunday I was walking to go meet up with the rest of the group that was in the convention center, and I walked between a Guardian and somebody else, and I looked back, and he was escorting Jeff. I'm like, "Well, that was Jeff." Shit. Okay.
Yeah. Me and Emma ran into Adam Ellis and his girlfriend coming out of breakfast with the JW, and they both looked really grumpy and hungover because this was on the first day of RTX.
Oh, I saw
So we were just like, "Oh shit."
Oh
They're
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. And then we
Cool.
saw the Funhouse guys when me, Andy, Chelsea, Francisco, Chelsea's my girlfriend. Hayden's her brother. Me, Chelsea, Hayden, Andy, Francisco, and I think somebody else. We were getting in an Uber to head to the K1, and the door hasn't closed yet. And on the street are most of the Funhouse guys, and Francisco goes, "Oh, there's Joel," and Joel goes, "Hi." And everybody else was like, "Hey," and we're like, "Well, Funhouse just passed us." And then it was the debate of, do we go follow them into the restaurant to go eat with them, or do we just drive away?
Drive away.
That's basically what happened to me at the airport, but then I met up with them 3 times later.
And who came down and sat with us at the airport eating her lunch?
Oh, yeah.
Is it school?
So
No,
we're
Mika
just sitting
Burner.
there at the airport, doing our thing, all
Was
being
this
sort of sad that we're all
leaving or
leaving
going?
each other.
Oh,
Leaving,
okay.
leaving.
Yeah, well, this is when we were leaving. And so we had just ran into 3 members of Funhouse. Matt, Bruce, and Adam, and we got like pictures and signatures with them, and it was all really cool. They were really cool guys, very nice. And so we're just
Shout
sitting
out.
there, and then Mika Burton runs past, and she's like, "Oh, I like all your shirts," because we all have like RTX shirts on and stuff, and we're just like, "Oh, hey, it's Mika Burton." And she's just, and then we talked to her for a second, and we're like, "Oh yeah, Fun Hostess was over there, that was cool." And she's like, "Is Adam there? Because I need to punch him in the face." And we're like, "Oh yeah, he was there." So she like fucking runs off into the distance to punch him into the face. And then like we're just sort of sitting there talking, being like, "Wow, Mika Burton's here. That's cool." And then like a few minutes later, she just sort of comes back and starts talking to us again. And we're like, "Oh, you know, if you want, you can pull up a seat. We'll make room for you. We can just hang out." And she's just like, "Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Thanks." So we just basically have lunch with Mika Burton, and she's like eating her salt lick, and we're just like, "Cool."
Speaking
It was
speaking of eating, gotta shout out to fucking Bella. If you go watch the Rooster Teeth RTX recap video, the like 4-minute long video,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see fucking Bella dressed as drunk Bernie. And go ahead and tell that story because it's a really funny story.
That is a great story.
Okay, so in the art, it's kind of I feel embarrassed about it. I don't
No,
know.
it's pretty funny.
I asked the dumbest question. Oh my god. So in the RTAA panel, it was really cool. Someone asked, I don't know. No, this was before a question. Somehow it came up like, who's the favorite character? And they were talking about how much they all love Drunk Bernie. And I'm sitting there in the audience cosplaying Drunk Bernie. So I'm sitting there next to Thomas, and he's just like, "You should like stand up or something. That's you." And I was just sort of sitting there like, and then like 2 seconds after that, they're like they finished talking about Drunk Bernie, and they say like, "Okay, we're taking questions now." And so Thomas sort of pushes me up, and I started to run up to the line, and I'm like the third person in line, so I'm like, "Okay, I'll have a moment to think of a question." And then everyone else in the line is like, "Oh, hey, you're Drunk Bernie. You should go to the front." And I'm just like, "Oh, goodness." And so I'm standing there really confused, and like there's a bunch of people pointing cameras at me, and I'm mildly panicking. And so I asked the dumbest question. I'm like, "Hey, Bernie, isn't it rude that you're eating a sandwich?" But I phrase it so terribly. I'm like, "Aren't you guys offended that Bernie's eating a sandwich?" And I'm dying inside. And they're all just like, "No." And then Bernie's like, "Here, do you want my sandwich?" And I'm like, "I'd love your sandwich." And then I got a free DVD and a hug, and it was really cool. And everyone was like,
Didn't he say fuck you?
yeah, at some point, I was like, I introduced myself as Cat.
Oh, it's Ryan.
Hey, Ryan's here.
Ryan's
I introduced
here.
myself as
The
Cat, and they were like,
MVP.
"We have to cut you
How's
off
it,
now.
Ryan?
You gotta go."
Get shut
mean, like-
down.
I'm sure the panel video will be up later, and then I'll watch it and I'll cringe at myself for making dumb choices.
So I just went over here and grabbed it. This is the oh glare.
Wow.
This is my 3DS. I got this is it's just Bernie and Matt and then the Funhouse guys. But what was awesome about this was I put it down for them to sign, and Adam Kovic was like, "Is this the new 3DS?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh cool, I've been looking to get one of these." And then he does this. He opens it up and he's just like, just kind of playing around with it, and then he starts rubbing the little nipple that's right here, and he's like, and then Joel's like, "Stop rubbing his nub," and Adam looks at me, he's like, "I'm sorry, I was rubbing your nub." I'm like, I mean, you can rub my nub if you want, that's fine. I don't care.
I'll let you do anything to my nub.
Yeah. But what was so funny standing in line was watching Bruce whenever everybody was taking a group photo, because at the signings they had a banner that was said RTX all over it. And so every time they would go to do a group photo, Bruce would go up behind the banner and do this. Like, I'm gonna go to the corner of my camera. He would just go. He would just stand like, "I'm not here. I'm not here." It was a great time for sure.
So anyway,
Hey, Ryan.
fifth player has
Hi.
arrived.
What's up?
Hi,
Mr.
Ryan.
Ryan.
What's going on?
Introduce
There's up
yourself.
even later with Starbucks.
Welcome.
No, it's actually it's Captain and Coke.
It's Ryan's first podcast with us.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
are popping my cherry.
I mean, it's my
Oh.
first podcast too, but no one said anything about it.
Let's
so-
put him on.
Two people's cherries.
Oh, it is. Oh,
This is the Cherry Poppin' Podcast.
Well, we already put Bella on the spot. Let's put Ryan on the spot for something.
There's nothing new. I have no shame. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about the time you had diarrhea, or the time you almost fucked George, or?
Oh,
Or
green,
the-
green diarrhea.
Oh, hey.
Or that you puke green stuff that you still have no
Yes,
idea how it came
I
I
out.
feel like they're all sort of parts of the same story, so let's just hear it all.
Yes.
Where do you want me to start?
The green
Yeah.
diarrhea.
Let's start
Green
Friday.
Okay. Let's start Friday. Nothing actually happened on Friday. Went to a movie.
Well,
I mean,
that
we
lead up
didn't
to
really
the
do.
green
Like
That
was
start
Thursday.
start with the beginning.
That was
like
Thursday before we
go
got
chronological order.
there.
Well, let's see.
How did we start
Ryan was the first one to lose. Never have I ever.
Oh, yep.
True.
Oh, he did.
Original.
The fucking, I guess it was the bartender at Alamo did tell Ryan to go fuck himself. That was pretty great.
Wow.
It's true.
Oh.
Yeah, this did happen.
That was really funny.
That did happen.
He went to go get drinks, I guess, for everybody. He comes back and we're like, "What's up?" He goes, "She told me to go fuck myself."
Wow.
Yeah, that really happened. Well, the movie starts. Well, they stopped serving alcohol 30 minutes before the movie starts, so we went up like, "Hey, we still got 30 minutes. Let's go get drinks." And she pretty much goes, "No, we're not serving anymore." I'm like, "What do you mean? I just want to drink. I just want to drink a little." She's like, "Well, you can get it from your waitress." But I want to drink now. She's like, "Well, you're fucked." Okay
Good
then.
job, Ryan.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I do have to say that the draft
Thursday night is when I went out and got extremely shit-faced and threw up Friday morning, and it was
Was it?
really, really green.
Did you
Wasn't
have like
Thursday also when you ate like 3 slices of pizza?
No,
that
was
wasn't at the
Friday.
con.
Wasn't Thursday when you took drunk
No.
dick pics?
I know.
Yes, it was. That was Thursday, Friday morning-ish. Yeah.
So explain that,
I
please.
don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Do you remember any of it?
No, not at all. I remember starting off at Reese's, which is an arcade bar. We were playing Jenga. We got really shit-faced, and somebody suggested we go to library for 50-cent shots. Whatever, let's go.
What?
You okay? Oh, he's getting interrupted like me.
So,
Oh, he got interrupted. All right.
Fucking rip.
Oh man.
So I have okay.
People
Hopefully,
getting
later it doesn't
interrupted
cut out.
today. What the hell?
Hopefully, it doesn't interrupt me. I'll be
Oh yeah,
fast.
finish your story.
Oh
What
no.
was-
So I was talking.
I'm sorry. I just looked at the chat. She said "real man's jingle."
Yeah, because Eric said jingle, so I said real man's
Yeah.
jingle.
So anyway, so I'm talking to Bernie, and I made him laugh, and he made me laugh, and it's on photo photography, and it made me all happy, and so I got to meet Bernie, not at a signing, and that was exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bernie's my favorite. Bernie probably is my. I've said this before. Bernie, I think, is my favorite person in Rooster Teeth, just because he's.
So
he-
nice.
He is the easiest guy to talk to, and if you start a conversation with him, you will last at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
the greatest guy to talk to.
Oh, so I had a signing with Ryan and Jeff, and I went with our friends Ariana and Emma, and I also was having something signed for our friend Joss, who really wanted to go to that signing but didn't make it in when you registered for it. So anyway, I went up and I got my stuff signed, and I made Ryan and Jeff laugh by saying, "I really shouldn't be this nervous to meet dads in the morning." Like a fucking idiot.
And then Emma cried because you dominated the whole
And
conversation.
no, I'm getting to that. So then I told Jeff, I'm like, you've inspired me to do something that I really love, and he was like, oh shit, what is it? And so then I was like, I've switched my major from physics to journalism, and so he started shitting on me for that. He was like, man, you should really switch back because the world doesn't need more journalists. It needs, it needs physics. And Ryan was like, yeah, physics is a really good thing. You should do that. And I was like, no, don't love me. And all the while I was having that conversation, Emma was getting her stuff signed, and then she had to leave at the same time I did. So I talked over her entire signing session, and she got very, very mad at me about it because we were talking about fucking physics instead of whatever she wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I'm mad at you too. Because I was, one of my friends, he drew a picture of Jeff that made it up on the bulletin board in AWU, and so I printed out a picture of that and I gave it to Emma so that Jeff could sign it, and I was hoping that there would be some sort of reaction from Jeff being like, oh, there's that artwork that we have, but no. Because you wanted to talk about physics.
Because fucking Eric.
Because fucking Eric. Come at me, bitch.
I fucking will.
Way to ruin their signing.
Fight me. Next
Alright,
Thursday, you and me, let's go.
Now that we finished that, Let's go back to Ryan. Ryan, are you ready?
Fucking Hulk shit over here.
So what did I leave off? Was it we were at Reese's, right? We were at Reese's. It's our arcade bar right off of 6th and Braze? I think it's Braze. Whatever.
Razzie.
Yeah.
Bras and Renzo Bras. We left there to go library for 50-cent shots, and on the way there, we bumped into a very beautiful blonde bartender, and she goes,
Oh,
I'll get you free shots, whatever you want, free drinks. Just come to my bar. And me being the smartass is like, as long as you come drinking with us at the library, we'll come drinking at your bar. And she's like, no, I can't do that. So we just walked away. Halfway to library, everybody turns and looks at me and goes, Ryan, you just screwed us out of free drinks. I'm going, what? And so we turn around, and the rest of the night, I don't remember paying for a drink. And that's all I remember. I wake up to me throwing up in the toilet, and that's my Thursday night.
Sounds about a night most drinkers get.
Okay, so I know this is going to get off topic really quick. I had a conversation with a guy at work today, and I asked him if he ever got blackout drunk, and of course he said yes. I said, how do you know that you didn't have a dick in your mouth when you were blackout drunk?
How do you know that you didn't have a dick in your mouth when you were
Exactly.
drunk?
That's
Is that like a concern that you have? Like, do you think that might have happened?
Now it is.
Would he mind? I don't think so.
Now think about it. Have you ever been blackout drunk and you don't remember anything? You very possibly had a dick in your mouth.
Yeah, but who?
The only time I was blackout drunk, there were no dicks around.
Are you 100% sure?
It's like Schrodinger's dick. That's exactly what this conversation I think is going to. It's like Schrodinger's dick. It's like it's either in your mouth or it's not. You
But
don't
you
know.
can never know.
Yeah,
Once you
never
open the
know.
box.
What was the guy's response to that?
Oh, it spread around the shop like wildfire. Everybody's like, well, you know what? I could be gay then, because I don't remember.
You could be gay.
Okay,
Could
I
be.
don't think that sucking a dick doesn't make you gay. Liking sucking dick and not liking eating pussy makes you gay.
No. Well, okay, that doesn't.
That's
make
kind of true.
That doesn't.
Okay,
Make
think about that.
That's the guy that's true.
Okay, if you don't remember it, does it make you gay? Because then it's like okay, so it's like the thing with Ryan and Gavin, like it's his memories, things, and fuck, I can't spell, I can't talk.
What the fuck is this?
Okay. So if you can't remember it, did it really ever happen? That's the whole crutch, right?
Yeah.
If you can't remember it, it's not part of you, so you're not gay. I think.
Sure.
Doesn't it doesn't work that way?
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. I don't remember you, so you're not part of my life anymore. Problem solved. Am I right?
The more you fuck yourself, pretty much. Eric, go fuck yourself.
You're welcome.
That's late. That's later activities, not on the podcast. But we're trying to be professional.
I saw a picture on Facebook that was rather fitting for the weekend. I think I saw it on Thursday. It was like you don't realize how drunk you are until you're until you're alone in the bathroom.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you about the time when I was getting felt up when I was vomiting because of being too drunk?
No?
No, please go on.
Was she trying to coax the vomit out of?
Oh no, it was he, and it was a black man.
Oh.
Racist.
Please go on. Continue.
So anyway, this is the end of first semester of college, and my friend Kwamel was like,
It's a lot more black than I thought it would be.
so anyway,
A lot more black than I thought it would be.
my friend Kwamel says, hey Eric, do you want to get like fucking turnt with me on Friday? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do, because I'm a college student and you get drunk when you're a college student. So we went over to this girl's dorm and I started drinking a lot. And
Girl. I could continue.
okay. Thanks. So I was drinking. I got very, very, very drunk, and as I got drunker, he started feeling me up, and I didn't really notice it because I was really, really drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was the thing where he slid his hand like underneath my shirt, and I was like, okay, this is not okay, not a good feeling to have. And at one point, I was sitting on the ground, and my head was kind of rotating around, and I was like, uh-oh, I think I'm gonna vomit. I think I'm definitely gonna throw up. So I get up and I walk over to the bathroom, and he follows me there, and I'm like, oh god damn it. And so I don't know if you know, but when you're vomiting when you're drunk, that is your lowest point. It is your lowest point.
No, it's not.
It is definitely your lowest point of the evening. Unless you're taking drunk dick pics. Which I was not doing. So anyway, I was bent over this toilet, like just like bleh, bleh. And as I was vomiting, you know, completely defenseless, he was like feeling me up. And I couldn't do anything about it. So
You could have vomited on him.
like I'm gonna vomit on a person.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm just saying that like, you weren't completely defenseless. You could have, but you're a decent person.
But I'm a decent
So you
person,
resisted.
and I just let myself get felt up vomiting. It was.
After you finish vomiting, you smack him across the face.
I didn't know what to do.
That
You
sounds
should have
like
licked
college.
him. You should have licked him.
No. And then I had to break his heart later. It was sad.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
Was that who that was? I
Yeah,
remember
that's
you
who it
telling me
was.
about
Yeah, he felt me up. He felt me up, and I still feel a little bit dirty about it.
All right.
Anyone else get felt up while drunk?
that.
Not that I know.
Which night?
Good
I
plan
almost-
for
I
rides
almost-
every night.
I almost had my dick cut off by Chelsea's mom once when I was
Oh.
drunk.
Wow.
It's not really a story or anything. Her mom doesn't like improperness at the table or anything like that. So if they like fart or burp at the table, she hates it.
So was your dick on the table?
No, it wasn't.
Apparently
Did you
it
pull out a
was.
meat cleaver? It was like.
No, but we were playing cards. It was I can't remember who all was there, but I remember Chelsea made me drink a pint of Fireball and like something else. I don't really remember. And then so at one point I'm sitting there and I just let out this massive burp, and but when that was the biggest death stare I ever got in my life. And so to make it better, I was like, technically we're not eating, so.
Oh, God.
I was like, I'm gonna go away now. I'm gonna. Oh shit! I was tossed over my computer. I was like, I'm just gonna go away now.
I
And
think
then,
I remember that.
Oh, you fucked up there.
yeah, I did fuck up there.
Didn't you talk about that in the chat or something?
I might have.
I remember you mentioning something about a fifth of Fireball and drinking it.
I'm gonna get some water because I really need it. So I'll be right back.
Speaking of drinking,
Rude.
yeah, I might have. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I wasn't like blacked out or anything because I think that's the only. No, that's not the only time.
Oh, so you want to know how I'm a terrible person? Of course,
Yeah.
Please go on. Please go on.
You're breaking black men's hearts. So how much more of a horrible person are you?
Oh, that wasn't the only black man's heart I broke. I broke another one.
Oh,
Not Tom. Do you break Thomas' hearts too?
No, it was this kid named. Oh fuck, what was his name?
Daquan.
I can't remember his name. Maybe it'll come back to me. But
He's not gonna come back to you because you broke his heart.
Well, no, he was going after me at the same time I was going after. I was not going after. He was going after me at the same time Kwamel was going after me. And then what ended up happening is I started dating someone, and he just stopped talking to me, and I still feel bad about it. It was like at one point I texted him. I was like, "Hey, how was your spring break?" No response. I think he was just like, "Fuck you, you're dating someone."
He was only in it for the dick.
So you're telling me when you get drunk, you lead guys on? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't
That's what it
know.
sounds like.
I don't know.
No. Not just any guys.
Gay black men.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
So anyway, this is how I'm a
Okay.
terrible person.
So I know you're sort of joking about Eric being really attractive to gay black men, but Tyler's really into you, and he is a gay black man.
Wait, who?
Tyler, my friend Tyler. Like
Oh, God.
when we were hanging out,
Are you
and then you-
fucking kidding me?
and then you sent that picture of you like shirtless wearing lays, and he was just like, "Who is this? Can I marry him?"
Oh, why is that a type? Why is that a type that I attract?
Who's getting married?
Me to
Apparently,
Eric's gay black friend or something like that.
Yep.
Alright.
No, so I'm a terrible person because I made a post about RTX on Facebook, and a lot of the comments on it were like, "Oh my god, I'm so jealous of you!" And every time I got a comment like that, a little part of me got incredibly happy because I would just lap up their jealousy like it was a sweet, sweet treat, on a summer night. It was so delicious.
I feel exactly the same way.
It's so good. Oh.
I wish I knew that feeling, but no one around me knows or likes Rooster Teeth.
Yeah,
so
nobody
it's
really
just me
gives.
being
Yeah,
like,
no,
look at what I did, and everyone's just like, okay, Bella.
I've got like a few friends that are familiar with it, but everybody else could not give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No two shits given.
Nope.
So what stories did you guys cover?
We just talked about
the
RTX
scamming.
before. Yeah,
We talked about getting scammed. We talked about how great you are. We talked about the way the signings worked.
Because
Oh,
you.
I want to hear about me.
Right, because you're the best guy in the world.
Because you and Andy, when shit got real, were like gonna offer up the money you guys had saved, so we would have a place to stay.
I'm just a cool guy.
Don't let it go to
guy
your
with an
head.
extra $2,000 lying around.
Yeah.
It's only my life savings.
Whoa. Now you're making me depressed.
No,
Right,
we.
Too
Wait.
real.
Did we talk about the movie theater? How we didn't know how many people were going, so we bought 20 tickets.
Oh no.
We bought 20 tickets for only 17 people.
Wait, what? I didn't know that was a thing. I was at a panel when you guys said that probably.
Yeah, and so we're like, we don't know how many people are going. I'm like, well, how many more left of the row do we have? And they're like, 2 more seats. I'm like, buy it. So we get there, we get there, we sit down.
Who gives a fuck? It's not like people here don't have money.
No, so we sit down.
Oh god. So at that movie, I got a buffalo chicken pizza, and it was not incredibly, but it was pretty spicy. Like my mouth hurt from eating it, but it was really good. I was sharing a hotel room with 2 of my friends from Colorado, and they were both female. And not the next day, but the day after, I think it was Sunday.
I know where this is going.
I woke up at 7:30 and I was like, oh, I really gotta take a shit. And so I went into the bathroom, and then I proceeded to light my asshole on fire. Let me tell you that pizza, it's hot going down and it's hot coming out, and it was one of those things where I tried not to make any noise because it was like really early in the morning, but I'm pretty sure I may have woke them up to me just being on the toilet, like hurting myself. And then I went back to sleep for about an hour, and I felt really self-conscious because the fucking bathrooms didn't have any fans, and I was like, one of them's gonna go in, it's gonna smell like shit, and it's just gonna, and then they're gonna.
Trust me, I can sympathize because I think
It's just gonna be a bad time.
I think it was Saturday night. I was gonna go swim with John, Tyler, and Nikki, and then we were in the hotel room, and I was like, I gotta go. I said, hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom before we go swimming. I took a shit, and I forgot. I meant to spray something, but I couldn't find anything to spray. So
Thanks.
So it gets better. Hold on. John walks by the bathroom. He goes, "Hey, oh!" He said, "What the fuck?" And he went, "Huh?" And then he starts spraying his cologne. I was like, "Oh, okay, good. It's just us in here." Right when I thought that, Bella, Emma, and Adrian, and Mark all walk in, and I'm just like,
Oh,
like I just straight blew up their toilet, and now everybody's walking in the room.
Alright, but here's what I don't understand. Who builds a fucking hotel and doesn't put a fucking fan in the bathroom?
I've never seen a hotel with a fan in it.
I've been to many that have fans in it.
I don't have
Another
a fan
thing
in my
about the JW
bathroom.
Marriott bathrooms. One more thing, and this is also relevant to
The
Eric
sliding door?
himself. Yeah. So the door doesn't close; it just sort of slides and then stays there. You hope, and it also doesn't lock. And also, since the shower door is clear glass, so at any time, anyone can just sort of roll open the door. You could be fucking wrecking your asshole like Eric was, or you could be sitting there showering, hoping that Emma's mom doesn't just.
Oh,
It was
God.
a wild ride of wanting to get like a fucking belt and bolt the door to the toilet so that no one would disturb you.
I mean, the way, I mean, you don't know how it is because you were in a room with, oh, maybe because you were with a mom, but like I was in a room with two females, and it was like really awkward because the door doesn't shut, and we had to have a talk like, okay, if the door is closed, don't open the door because someone might have their dick out or their boobs out or whatever, and we don't want it to be
Boobs
awkward.
I heard goose
Eric,
out.
put your boobs away. Put your boobs away, Eric.
No. Like the calm your tits meme.
My favorite post in the group me for that entire weekend was I think it was Friday or Saturday morning. It was Adrian, Andy, John, Tyler. Am I missing anybody that was in your hotel room?
Mark, that was it.
Oh, Mark. Okay. So like Andy posted in the chat. He said, "I'm sleeping next to John. He's snoring, and I feel like I'm gonna die."
Oh man.
Okay. I was in there. John snoring. It was loud, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I guess I'm that sleeper who can just like go to sleep with anything that's around me, no matter what.
Well, fucking brag about it.
Fuck you. I mean, if I'm watching TV, it's extremely loud, I'll just knock out. If I'm really tired. But I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I don't know. I despise snoring. I had a roommate who snored, and I wanted to like put my face through a wall because it was so terrible.
That's why you get earplugs.
Well,
There was a girl at camp a couple years ago, and so the way camp worked is that we'd have like little tents that were each one was about like 20 feet away from each other, and she wasn't in my tent. She was like 20 feet away from me through the woods, and yet every night when I tried to sleep, I could just hear her snoring, and it sounded like death, and it kept me up, and I wanted to fucking scream.
Oh god! This reminded me. So, my dad snores terribly. One time I was in a hotel room with him, and he was snoring, and it sounded like a fucking semi-truck was accelerating in the room. I don't even know how he made that noise, but it sounded like a semi-truck. Try sleeping with a fucking semi-truck in your room.
Oh god.
Go ahead.
And then this last time my family was in New York, I had to share a bed with my brother. But he had been in Washington, D.C. earlier visiting his girlfriend. And so the first night he gets there, he's like next to me and he's snoring. And I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. And I start poking him to try and wake him up because I can't sleep. And so I'm poking him and he rolls over, picks up my hand, looks at me, kisses my hand, rolls over, and goes back to sleep. I cannot tell you how freaked out I was. I thought he was gonna like start taking off his pants and like start spooning me or something. It was.
I'll also send you like pictures of his ass later.
Oh, that was at RTX. Yeah.
Or full nudes in the bathroom.
What a family. What a family.
No, I can sympathize with that. Thank God I grew out of it. But like I used to have a problem when I slept that I either farted or I snored, and I never knew which was which. But there was one time.
Fart constantly?
No, I didn't fart constantly. No.
Was it just like you're falling asleep, just like?
Yeah, no, there was one time that and I don't. Anybody in band can probably sympathize with this, but when I was in high school, I was in band, and during concert season, especially for the percussion, it's boring as shit.
Oh yeah.
So many drummers, not very many people to play. So I'm sitting there sitting by the bass drum, and like most of us sleep because we don't have anything to do, and so I'm sitting there sleeping, and I wake up for a second, and I look around, and everybody's going like it looks like they're snickering, and I look over at my buddy, I was like, why is everybody laughing? And I just thought, I said, was I snoring? And he goes, mm-mm. I said, did I fart? And he goes, mm-hmm.
Did it like resonate with the bass drum? And, like,
probably
amplified it.
I said, did it was it loud? He goes like, a little bit. I was like, God damn it. No, but going back to the snoring thing, my parents are awful at both the snoring and farting. But like there was one time that my mom was out of town, and so I just decided to crash with my dad in his room. and I was up to like 12, and he'd already went to sleep. Hadn't heard a fucking peep out of him. And so at 12, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. Lay my head back, close my eyes. About a minute later, I hear, like, what? And I just go, I'm not fucking sleeping tonight. I'm not. I was just, oh, it was fucking off. By the way, rest in peace, headphone users. I apologize for that.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere.
yeah. It caught me off guard, too. It's like fucking Velociraptor.
No, even though that I was out every night and I was trying to keep up with all you young whippersnappers.
Shut up, you're like 25.
Yeah, Grandpa, shut up.
And I would fall asleep as soon as we got back to the hotel. I was like, okay, this is...
Yeah.
Well, then you're also the person who got fucking drunk at the Bare Naked Ladies concert.
Oh, we haven't. Hey! Okay, I was sitting next to Ryan. He wasn't that bad.
No, I wasn't.
but we should talk about Bare Naked Ladies a little bit.
Oh, that concert was fucking awesome.
That was amazing. I must say, talking about earlier, we talked about line caps, how we shouldn't have let people cut lines. Eric, you came right before the guy said
I know, I was so self-conscious.
You bumped in, the guy turns the corner and says, all right, if anyone cuts, you're getting your badge taken away. I'm like,
I thought someone was going to be like,
God.
I thought someone was going to be like, hey, this guy just cut us, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
Snitch just gets
I know, I was looking around. I was like, fuck.
Make that sound one more time, Eric. One more time. Make that sound again. That guy being...
the stupid internet voice?
Yeah, do it.
Oh, this guy just cut. He needs to be taken out of the line right now. Oh.
Okay, continue.
Alright, let's move on.
Anyways, though.
Well, no. I showed up, and Adrian was like, "Here, just come with us." And then the guy turned, and he was like the big guardian that like lost his voice yelling. He was like, "Okay, if anyone is cutting, I will take your badge, and you will not have an RTX." And I was like, "Oh my God, he's cutting! What's gonna happen to me? Am I gonna lose my badge?" And then no one said a thing, and I was incredibly grateful.
Snitches get stitches.
Oh, before we got into the concert, I saw Gus, and I saw him talking to some stupid punk kid, and then I realized that stupid punk kid was Brandon, because Brandon dresses like a stupid punk kid.
Nice. Fucking poor Brandon there. But how long did we wait? 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it was like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was about 2 hours.
You came in I mean, it was worth it because it was fucking awesome.
That concert was great. It got me back in. It got me back into listening Bare Naked Ladies.
Same here. I've been listening all week so far. I left early with a bunch of the other 21ers. We'll call them, so we can actually drink. I'm never gonna go back and stay.
Holy fuck, it's John.
Hey, there's John.
A sixth player enters.
Fuck you, I don't snore that bad.
What?
I don't snore that bad.
Hey, I try to save you.
I know, thank you, Adrian.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I got your back.
For the record, that snore that I did for my dad really fucking hurt my throat, right?
I literally, I got off. I was like, fuck you guys. I'm gonna get on the hangout. I'm gonna get on the podcast.
Okay, back to the concert. So
yeah, back to the concert. When you left, the good songs started coming out.
I know.
Like, he missed out.
I watched it on YouTube, but I will never ever say that I regret leaving early. Leaving early was probably the best thing of the night.
I will never, in their song Pinch Me, whenever they say like change into some dry clothes, I always say Gus Arola's clothes now.
Yeah.
Well, they did that in one of their songs. I know they changed one of their lyrics for Gavin Free.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Everyone was like, "Oh, I feel so good." He felt so proud of himself when they lyrics.
Yeah, I slipped in that night, right?
No, you were out drinking already.
Yeah,
that's why we left. So we got.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went bar. Yeah, I got.
That was the night me and Eric got back. We were there for like 30 minutes, and you kicked everyone out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everyone has like, "Fuck you, get it gone."
I was like, oh, John, you ruined all night. You ruined our night.
I think
I,
that's
didn't
when
go-
we went
I wanted to
swimming.
go drinking. I didn't want anyone in the hotel room.
I just didn't want to start shit, so that's why I left.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
told
and
Evan
then
to just wait.
there's another thing. And then after I left on that Saturday night, we were in the lobby of the JW Marriott, and we ran into Aaron, Ariana's cosplay friend, who, a little bit of backstory, Ariana was posting all these GIFs of a Ryan Haywood GTA like cosplay. So like him in
Yeah.
the leather jacket.
Like
And-
all the stubble.
Yeah. And so, me not knowing that it was a woman made an ass of myself, and I was like, hey, I would go gay for that person. And then Ariana was like, well, too bad because she's a girl. And I felt like a giant, moron. And then Ariana tells this person, Aaron, that, hey, there's this guy, Eric, who said he'd go gay for you. And apparently she was flattered, but I didn't really think that she was flattered. So we ran into her in the bottom of the JW, and she ended up giving me a kiss on the cheek. So yeah.
Brag about it.
Aww.
Hey, Ryan, I remembered, wasn't there a story where you and some other people met Game Grumps in the elevator?
Okay. So this is Sunday, and we were out late. I was out late till like 4:30 Sunday morning. So once we got back to bed, we woke back up at 7 so we can get back to the con and start doing things. So I got back to the con. It was like 11:30, maybe 12-ish, probably like 11. And I said, I'm done. I can't do this. I went back and took a sleep. Took a sleep.
Sleep.
So we
Looks like
walked
you
all the way
still
back
haven't
from.
recovered there, buddy.
All right, I'm a little drunk. I walked back from the con center to the JW, and I took a nap in the bed. Well, George is like, "Hey, I'm tired too. Someone give me a bed to crash in." So I told him, "Sure." So 12:30 rolls around. We get up from our nap. We walk to the elevator. I'm doing this on my phone. Let me see if you can see this on my phone, and the elevator's door open. I look up, and it's Game Grumps in the elevator. I'm going, "Yep, I can't do this right now." I look down at my phone, walked in like this. And one of the guardians that's managing them goes, "You can take a selfie real quick before we get off the elevator." I'm like, "Nope, can't do this. I can't do this. Nope." No. Yeah,
Those guys must have been like, oh, wow,
You
okay.
must have looked like such an asshole. You're just going like,
no, I can't do this.
Remember what he said when we were doing RTX Murder? We should talk about that, by the way. When we were in the bar, how Barbara and everyone comes in, and Ryan says, "Shut up, we're trying to solve this."
Yeah.
Shut up, everyone.
there was like 5 RT staff members
I
to
was like,
solve a murder.
Ryan, what? I was like, yeah, we are trying to solve this, so he's got a point. Shut up. I was.
I think one of the best interactions I had with at anyone at RTX was with Spool. Spool was really cool near the end, and when I was able to get into the lounge right there by center stage, I was able to give him my mouse pad for that I got done that said Funhouse on it. I got all of them to sign it, and I actually got Spool to play it on the center stage when it Rainbow Six versus
So
Accumulator.
that's why they lost. It's your fault.
Oh, yeah, that's why they lost. Because they all signed it, and Spool sucked.
So can I tell you about how I introduced myself to school?
How'd you introduce yourself to Spool?
So it's Monday, and I'm trying to get. My group of people are at the airport that I'm with, and I got checked in, my bag's checked in, I got my ticket, I'm making sure everybody's through, and John's standing there next to Spool, and I go to John, did everybody make it in? He goes, no, they're all on standby. I'm going, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, Funhouse is on standby. I'm going, we don't care about Funhouse right now. It's our people on a plane. Well, Spool's standing right next to John, just laughing his fucking ass off.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He also had fucking flight trouble. Him and the rest of Funhouse fucking stayed the night.
Really?
Yeah, they all stayed the fucking night. Fucking Spool left like as soon as me and George left. Like an hour after we landed, he was just leaving Austin.
Wow.
And he was still redirected. He was redirected to Seattle.
That sucks.
Yeah, most of the Funhouse guys fucking got fucked on their flights.
It would have been nice if like someone was like just there and just like, yeah, I'm stuck here too. They probably would have said like, oh, come hang out with us, because they're
No,
that
they were
nice.
pretty. It was to the point where they were pretty tired near the end that people
Uh,
that found them were taking pictures with them, but it was the point where Spool and most of them were on the ground just laying down. It was like, if you want to take a picture for me, if you want to take a picture with me, I don't care. But if you want to be in it, I'm not getting up. So they all ended up taking ground selfies.
that's
Nice.
actually pretty cool.
Should we tell them how we bumped into Mia Burton?
We talked about that earlier, but you can
Yeah, we talked. I heard about that.
you can say something about it if you want towards your point
Okay.
of view.
So I'm a loudmouth. I'm a kind of a jackass. I
Really? I had no fucking clue.
I don't have a filter. So we're chilling there after I think Andy got it. Andy got on his plane.
Andrew.
And his name is Andrew. Whatever.
Yeah, but like we have 2 Andrews, so.
Okay.
He's Andy.
Andy got on his plane. We got food. We hung out with Funhouse. We got back to our like hangout area, and it's right by security check 1. And I'm just being a fucking nosy guy I am, and I see Mia Burton walk by and go, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" She's like, "Hi, how you doing?" And my dumb self goes, "Hey, Funhouse is stuck here too." She goes, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're down by Salt Lake." She's like, "Okay, I gotta go kick
Should have
Adam.
go punch Adam.
Punch Adam.
And
Like,
then,
okay, bye."
and then as soon as you tell that to her, I run into her and I take a quick selfie where he's like, "Have you?" And she legit goes, "Have you seen Funhouse?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just finished helping them take pictures and shit. They were at the Salt Lake Club. I think they all took off already. Okay, I gotta go. All right, hope you catch them and I meet up with you guys."
Yeah, that's what I like about Funhouse, because I mean, you know, Rooster Teeth. I think Funhouse is more susceptible to like kind of if you see us, you know, hey, we'll hang out or whatever. Right? This is along those lines.
Oh crap! You're breaking up.
You don't know the best part, Nate.
What's up? What's the best part?
We're still sitting here just chilling out, doing anything. We're trying to get Emma on Hangout so we can talk to her because she's still in Austin while we're at the airport. And we turn around and Mia Burton's coming up here with some food. She's going, "Hey guys, how's it going? I was just gonna come back here and eat food with you guys." I'm like, "We'll pull up a table." 1 second.
Yeah, we put up a table and a fucking chair for her, and she just sat with us until her flight left. We were just talking about random shit.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no. Before that, when we were all waiting for Salt Lake, we all ended up going to Salt Lake, and sure enough, fucking Bruce and Peak were right next to us at the table waiting. And I ended up going. I wanted, like, my whole dream was to get a beer, have a drink with people from RT. And fucking, this was the closest I got. So I went to go buy a beer. I'm like, "Hey, supposed to you guys, this is the first time I'm gonna have beer with these people at Funhouse." So I got a toast with Peak and Adam. So that was cool. But after that, fans started seeing that they were there and was stopping. Like, "Hey, can we take a picture?" And knowing, and you know how I am, I want to help. I'm like, "Hey, here, give me your phones. I'll take pictures," because they're busy as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I think I was there for like an hour to helping taking pictures. After that, security was like, "Hey, you can't be doing this. You're causing like a line and shit, and it looks very suspicious." I'm like, "All right, sorry."
Good guy John over here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, I got a potential interview on fucking Saturday.
Shit.
Fucking internship over here.
When we do the next one, I want to get Andy on here because I want him to talk about the fucking VIP party. I want to see if he remembers any of it.
I don't think he remembers any of it. He remembers some of it. The only thing I remembered is like I know for a fact who started the whole fucking Peak thing. It was Matt and fucking Jeremy. They were in the VIP lounge. Fucking every time they went Peak, they fucking put their hands up, but they did it in Illuminati style. And then people from VIP lounge came out and just started doing the Peak thing. So I know, yeah, fucking what Bella's doing right now.
So we were chilling out at Salt Lake at the airport, and Pete was behind me, and I had caught a conversation he was having with a fan, and the fan asked, "So, how do you like the Peak thing?" And he goes, I'm still trying to take it in, and it's different. I wasn't ready for it. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, he basically said, like, I wouldn't mind if it just sort of stayed at RTX. Maybe if it came back next year, but it can just sort of stay here.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
come back next year.
that's here to stay. There's already people submitting fan art.
Did I tell you that I convinced George to take a selfie with all the Funhouse wives?
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
saw that. I was like, what is he doing?
I saw it. I think I photobombed it. I don't know. I haven't seen the picture yet, but it was to the point I'm like, all right, that's kind of creepy, dude.
Well, all the guys were out taking photos, and I walked up to them and was like, so, are you guys used to this yet? Are you used to them getting all the attention? And they go, oh, well, here is completely different at home. When we get stopped at a grocery store, it's kind of weird. I'm like, well, does that happen a lot? She's like, well, yeah, no. And that's the end of the conversation I had. Then I turned to George and go, hey, George, go get a selfie with all of them. He's like, really? It's not creepy. I'm like, no, that's not creepy at all. Don't do it.
That's really
fucking believes
creepy.
it.
Speaking of George, I told the story today. So I've got this weird thing with my girlfriend. She
With
told me
dicks?
this. Yes, it's with dicks. No, she started this thing a while back ago. Whenever I would yawn, she would try to stick her finger in my mouth because apparently if you touch somebody's tongue while they yawn, they stop yawning. So it's this thing we do all the time. She yawns, I yawn. We both try to put our fingers in each other's mouths. So
This sounds like some porn I would look up.
I was gonna say sooner or
Fingers are
later.
okay, just
Is
just
this
for-
German
just to
throat
let-
stuff?
just to let just to let everyone know, fingers is a code word. So
Fingers
So-
are a cold word.
So anyway, I'm used to doing this. When I see a yawn, I'm normally around her,
Be
so I
like,
don't do that. But okay, so on Thursday, we got into Austin, and then we dropped our bags off, and then we went straight to go eat, and then meet up with Andy, and then we were gonna go to K1, where pretty much most everybody else was at. And so we get to K1, everybody's like, K1's kind of lame right now. We're just gonna head back to somebody's hotel. Like, okay. So we took a ride back. I ended up riding with George and some other people in the Uber. So I'm sitting there sandwiched with George. I'm sitting there sandwiched with George, and I look over, and George lets out this big ass yawn. My first instinct is to fucking put my finger in his mouth. So I went like, and I was like, I probably should not do that. And so I just put my finger back down, and I was just sitting there kind of laughing to myself. And I told Chelsea about it. She thought it was really funny. I haven't told George that yet. I think I told Andrew though.
Hey,
But yeah,
George,
I was-
I was trying to finger you.
Yeah, he yawned, and I went, oh no, I'm not. That might be weird. I just
wait,
met
that's
him.
not Chelsea.
Huh? Yeah, that's not Chelsea. No.
It's like wait,
Yeah.
zip. There we go.
Yeah.
No, but George is the kind of person where he would just sort of go with it.
Yeah, you'd be like, all right.
Alrighty then.
So,
So that's your fetish.
Yeah.
That was it. That's my aesthetic.
Aesthetic, yeah.
Fine, what was
How long have we been going for? I feel like
we've
for
been
a
going
while.
for like an hour and a half. I think we should probably start wrapping it up.
Damn.
Okay.
All right.
This is also
I don't know if you guys
short
went over-
episode.
I don't know if you guys went over this.
Yeah, lightning round.
Hang around. I just for everyone in general, and then I think we can end it. Favorite moment at RTX.
Okay, that's perfect.
I don't want to talk about it publicly.
Fuck you. I think I know what it is.
Then say second favorite. I think I know what it is too, but say second favorite.
Say second favorite. Then you can talk.
Or just like one of your top moments.
Spooning with George.
Nice.
Wait, you spooned with George?
Yeah, we shared a bed when we took a nap, dude.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I think Andy was afraid of me.
Because you're snoring?
No, because I was too fucking big for him.
Oh.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
All right, I'm gonna say it was probably the RVB panel.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
That was my highlight of RTX. That was a great panel.
I'm not sure if it was my favorite moment, but like definitely one of the tops was meeting Blaine and Adam because that was just really cool, and they're both really cool guys.
Yeah. I gotta say mine is definitely Funhouse. The first Funhouse panel
Oh,
that
that
I
was
saw on
great.
Friday.
That was
It
fun.
was fucking awesome. Like, that's how I want to start my RTX every year. If Funhouse ever has a panel, every day, like the first day of RTX, that's what I'm doing.
I agree. That was a great panel.
Oh
Great
yeah, I
start at RTX.
just want to casually mention it. I won't get into details, but I got to like hang out with Funhouse for a few minutes on Thursday, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Airport girl over here.
I got to talk to them about porn documentaries.
Nice.
Wow.
My favorite would either have to be meeting Matt and Bernie or Sunday when most of us all got to hang out at the convention center because that was a lot of fun for me.
That
Yeah.
was really cool.
I think for most of it was finally actually meeting all you fuck.
That was probably
Yeah.
the first moment where almost all of us were together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
The crew.
the whole situation that happened, I know you guys talked about it. It
Yeah.
kind of did screw us over, but
It brought
you know
us
what?
closer, right?
It did. Like that was the one thing that's the one positive thing I saw from it. It brought all of us a little bit closer. It did fucking separate us.
It brought us closer together, but literally it tore us apart because of we couldn't hang out as much.
Yeah,
We
fucking.
were literally sprawled across in different hotels and all that shit.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
I think.
What was your favorite one, Eric?
I mean, it being my first convention ever, it was like just so mind-boggling to meet all of you guys. That was fucking fantastic. I think my favorite thing was either I can't choose. It was either talking to Barbara Sunday night because she was incredibly nice and made me feel really appreciated to be a fan, or the no panel because it made me feel like I am pursuing the right thing in my life. That doing journalism is right for me. Seeing what they talk about and
How they do it.
I was engaged the entire time. It was awesome, and it made me really excited to go back to school.
Nerd.
That's awesome. Nerd guy.
who's excited?
No, you know what? Yeah, I think
Nerds.
I might have to change mine. I think Funhouse was probably the best one, but I think the most humbling moment I had was like the little heart-to-heart I had with Spo at the airport. We talked about a lot of things while we were waiting in line.
Nerd.
Shut up. And I realized I was in the wrong fucking line too.
Wow.
Like halfway through, I'm like, "Oh, you already checked your bag. You're supposed to go to self-service." I'm like, "Oh,
You
bye."
made a mistake.
Cool. And then he fucking followed me after I got out. I'm like, "All right, cool."
Alright.
So
All right,
We
well,
good?
this has been episode number 12.
12.
12.
Pops and cherries. It was
Pop some cherries for sure.
now, we're like the Internet Box podcast. Well, we're gonna put one out next week or in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, we'll put one out. Okay, listen. Listen. We'll put one out when people are ready to put one out. It won't be like a weekly thing. It'll just be when it happens.
Yeah.
It'll happen when it happens. You
If
can't.
There we go.
If I were to put something on it just to give people a general idea, is that a dog or cat?
It's
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Ryan, I'm driving over. I'm coming. I'm on my way.
But if I was to get, I would probably say every once every 2 weeks maybe sounds
That's
right,
like the
right schedule.
we do it. But it all depends on if people have stuff to talk about. Really.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
If we can do it once a week.
If I get my internship, I will be fucking talking a lot.
We still have stuff to talk about from RTX.
Yeah,
we-
we couldn't
Yeah,
possibly
like,
cover
we
all.
I'll give you like insider updates if I can.
You'll probably just sign an NDA, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. I probably will have to.
Alright.
I know most of the other interns had to, but it's to the point where I'm just gonna be editing shit. If I know anything about RTX, that's probably gonna be like, hush hush. But then I get, if I know the dates in advance, I'm like, all right, cool. Hey, can I get permission to fucking book the lofts at this time?
Like,
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have to tell us. You could just book the lofts and be like, they're booked. Don't know.
Yeah. And provide proof.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will provide proof. I will not be the only one in charge of this. So
Yes. All right. Well, this has been Eric.
Adrian.
Say your fucking names.
I said mine.
There's not really a line. We just sort of have to
Just
guess.
say your name.
your name.
Ah!
Say my name. No, don't do that. That's weird. Nate. Hi. I don't know
I'm
what
Ryan.
the fuck that was, but there's Ryan.
I'm Ryan. Don't block me.
and I'm good guy John, and this has been another episode of the Dope Pear podcast.
Thanks for joining.
Swag.